Now, here we're looking at the fundamental facts for a corporation, in this case Kalicube. Very similar to a person. If you watch that video, you need to give the company name, the alternate names. If the company had a previous name, at some point you changed it, or if it's referred to using a different name, include that here. You can include multiple alternate names, comma separated if you need to. The system will create an array and it will add it to the schema markup, which is the point of this fundamental facts page. It's to define the fundamental facts that we need to communicate to Google through our entity home. The legal name in France, they're called SaaS, SASU, S-A-R-L. It could be limited, it could be incorporated, it could be LLC, it could be PTY, depending on the country you're living in or your company is based in. That means basically we're disambiguating, because on a lot of public government sites, which are sites that Google trusts a great deal, obviously, this is how it will be written. And it ensures that Google can see that Kalicube, the company, is the same thing as Kalicube SaaS on the government websites. VAT ID, very good for disambiguating. It's unique, and you will find that once again on the government website. The founding date can be actually very different depending on which source you're looking at. Try to be consistent across every site where you mention it and find the one that seems to make the most sense. I would advise you to take the one from a government website, the main government website in your country. The founding town or city, like the birthday and the birth town for a person, founding date and founding town or city is incredibly good for disambiguating, because even if there are multiple companies with the same name, most countries will not allow the same named company to be created twice in the same city, and certainly not on the same day. Postcode, very good because of the fact that multiple cities or towns in a country can have the same name. And the founding country, obviously, once again, creating context, it's very important. If there's a parent company, then you can add that here with the entity home for that parent company in the official page for the parent organization here. And that, once again, is going to be its entity home. If you're working on the entity of both this company and the parent company, it will mutually support each other, and both will help Google to understand better and be more confident in its understanding of each entity. Google Maps URL, really important. Google has a knowledge graph in Google Maps. It has a main knowledge graph. We're focusing on the main knowledge graph because that Google My Business, Google Maps knowledge graph, is being ported into the main knowledge graph. And if we can push that across, if we can help Google consolidate these two major databases, these major knowledge graphs, we're really winning. So making sure it's understood which Google Maps URL corresponds to your specific business will help it to better port your business, your company, into the main knowledge graph. And it's already there. It will help it merge those two entities. Area served can be a town, can be a region, it can be worldwide, it can be a country. URL of an image, like for a person, you need it to be high quality. You need to control the URL where that image is hosted. The image would be, for a company, something like a picture of your staff, or an image that you would like to spread around the web, or you do spread around the web, that represents your company, that isn't your logo, because that obviously goes in URL of your logo. Once again, we need a high quality image, and I just noticed here that I actually had one that was reduced to a smaller size, and I know that image is there, and I can actually check that, and I think that's a good idea. And at one point we will add some kind of system for checking that, and that's obviously very high resolution, big image. And I click on submit, saves it to the database, and that will now be included in the schema markup, which is on this next step. Thank you.